Hello and welcome to my podcast. If you're new here, we are so glad that you found us. And of course, if you are returning, we are glad to have you back because I really love interacting with you. I love reading your comments and so forth. But let's talk about retirement for a second, friend to friend. When you think about it, we have spent years living by somebody else's clock. For me, the uniformed services, the Air Force and the U.S. Public Health Service, told me when to get up, and the job told me when to eat lunch. And then one day, that just stops. It just stops. You knew it was coming, but you didn't really know what to expect. But then it stops. And nobody really tells you about that. And when you look at it, research shows that that particular moment in your life can actually be good for you from a mental health standpoint. Retirement is linked to less depression. I bet you didn't know that. And less, not more. And that catches a lot of people off guard. In fact, that caught me off guard too. And I'm one of the people who lived it. I've been in retirement for 9 years. And what's even crazier is I'm a healthcare provider, but I never truly thought about this until I was experiencing uh, until I was experiencing it. And a lot of us never do until we're in that situation. This is Health, Wellness, and Community. I'm Dr. Quentin Moore, and today I want to just sit here and tell you 5 things you are going to love about retirement. 5 things that surprised me, in fact. 5 things that I want you to walk into retirement already expecting. You ready? Let's go. Number one is freedom. Freedom is when your time finally belongs to you. All right, real talk. The first thing you notice isn't the big stuff, it's the small stuff. And nobody is telling you when to be somewhere anymore. Nobody's telling you that. After I retired, I actually realized that for over 20 years, my schedule was not mine. And that's a sobering thought when you think about it. Your schedule, even though it's yours, it's not actually yours. Wake up alarm, shift work, you name it. My day started when somebody else said so, not when my body was ready. So when that finally ended, it took me months to actually believe I was allowed to just wake up rested, to just wake up rested. In fact, I still wake up early, but I don't wake up as early as I did when work mandated it in order for me to get to work on time, things like that. But I still wake up fairly early in the morning. But the good thing is, when I wake up, the alarm's not waking me up. I'm generally waking myself up. Every once in a while, I might set my alarm. But overall, I'm getting my rest. And it, it feels good. It feels good. Now, when you look at this, it's not being lazy. By the way, research actually shows that years of broken or interrupted sleep actually jack up your stress levels. And that stress, it can mess up your hormones. It can mess with blood pressure and your immune system over time. So when you get your time back, your body is finally getting a break that it probably hasn't had in 20 to 30 something years. Think about that. 20 to 30 something years, your body's actually getting a break. And in many cases, the body sometimes does know what to do and sometimes it doesn't. But if that's you, I want you to go ahead and tap the like button for me, because that helps me get this video out to more folks so that they can see this before they retire. Number two is the health payoff that nobody warns you about. Research shows retiring is actually good for your mental health, which I said earlier. Less work stress, more time for your body to move, and better sleep. It all adds up. You know, when you were working all the time, if you were short on your sleep and you had a lot of work stress, it that added up too. But now that you are in the opposite of that, it's going to add up in a good way. Once I retired, I felt this for myself. I had control of my own schedule. I could actually stick to weightlifting consistently, and I wasn't doing a whole lot, especially at this age. As I said before, I'm not trying to lift the gym. I'm just trying to work out, get some resistance training in, and do it about 3 days a week. That way, it keeps your body moving, it keeps your strength up, and so forth. But I could stay disciplined and continue eating a low carb diet instead of grabbing whatever was fast between meetings. So I have that time now. And when you look at my blood lab work, the numbers got better. My energy got better. And that's not luck. That's not luck at all, my friend. That's just what happens when your body's not running on someone else's clock. And a healthier you has more to give. More for your family, more for your church, more for your community. That's the whole thing right there. Number three, room to give back. And on top of that, purpose that you choose. Make sure that you note that. Purpose that you choose. Here's what people get wrong about retirement. They think your purpose when you retire just disappears, but it doesn't. It becomes a choice, and a chosen purpose, it hits different. When you make that chosen purpose, it hits different than an assigned one. When I left the U.S. Public Health Service and the prison, I didn't stop serving, not even close. I started teaching nursing full time. I took on being a faculty advisor for my fraternity at that university. And when I look at it, nobody made me do any of that. I chose every single bit of it. And that's exactly why it feels different, much different. And research backs this up. It says that staying active in your community, volunteering, and mentoring, that kind of thing, it's linked to better mental health and a lot less loneliness. So you are probably asking, since I'm saying I'm retired, why did I go back to work? Well, I had no desire to sit down and be your stereotypical retiree. I didn't want to set it down. Yes, I do currently work, but let me make a clear distinction here. Me working is because I want to. Did you hear that? It's because I want to, not because I have to. Just me saying that, I have this joy inside because I know that even if I choose to leave the job that I'm currently at, my retirement is going to sustain me. And that's a wonderful thing. When it's because you want to, that makes it different. This is something that, what I'm doing right now, this is something that I have desired to do for a long time. And it's something that I truly enjoy. If you're at a job and you enjoy it and you want to be there and you love it, it's not like work. It's not like work at all. Tell me down in the comments, what's your version of giving back? What does it look like if you're retired, or what is it going to look like when you retire? Number 4, you actually have space for the passions you shelved for decades. Think about it for just a second. What did you put off for years just because you never had the time? For me, it was this YouTube channel, Health, Wellness, and Community. It didn't even exist while I was on active duty. However, I did have an audio podcast and I liked that pretty well, but I wanted to get to YouTube. But when I came over here to YouTube, I had to learn how to write a script, sit in front of a camera like I'm doing right now, edit videos, all of it from scratch. So you can imagine I watched multiple YouTube videos on how to do those different skills, and it was a joy learning. And I'm continuing to learn at this point, learning different things about editing and so forth. But retirement is what finally gave me the room to try. It finally gave me the room to try. Now, I know that you've got something like that too. And I promise, maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's a little business idea, maybe it's a sport you used to love. If you're going to do the sport, though, especially you guys, be very careful. And in fact, one of the sports that I play is pickleball. I love it. I'm the pickleball king. Not really, but I like to think of myself as that. But yeah, you really got to watch out, guys. Getting back on track. Uh, Retirement is the first time in decades that trying whatever it is, it doesn't have to compete with your 40-hour work week. So go out there and be adventurous, but use caution and use smarts. A lot of times, I know you women are going to do it, but us guys, we're knuckleheads. We still think we're 20 until our body tells us, hey, what are you doing? But anyway, moving on. Number 5 is the confidence that comes from running your own schedule. When you put all of that together, the freedom, the better health, the purpose you actually chose, the room for your passions, and you put all of that together, and what you're left with is confidence. Not the loud kind, but the quiet kind. The kind that comes from knowing that you built this next chapter on purpose. You built it on purpose. And you built it instead of drifting into it. And that's something that is really, really satisfying. That's the person who was in there the whole time. And by the way, retirement doesn't create that person. It just finally gets out of the way so that person can do what they want to do or what they need to do. Okay, I know you all have heard all this, but here's your homework. Yes, I'm giving you homework today. Thank me later. This week, and I actually want you to do this one. Write down one thing on your paper, one thing that you've been putting off until you had time to do it. Just one thing. But here's the catch. I want you to put a date next to it. That's going to be your start date. It doesn't have to be in the next week or two, but write it down, put a date next to it. Hang it on your refrigerator or somewhere you're going to see it on a regular basis. That's it. That's the whole assignment. And that is a way that you can keep yourself accountable while in retirement or preparing for retirement. Okay, so coming up, next time, we're going to get into the other side of this. The stuff nobody puts in the brochure, in the retirement brochure. We're going to look at 5 things that you're actually going to hate about retirement. And not only are we going to look at those, we're going to talk about what to do about each one of them. So if you want to see that, click over here or over there. I think it's going to be over there though. Click over there and stick with me to see videos on retirement, health, wellness, and community. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I look forward to hearing from you as well with a comment. Now, what I want you to do is go build that life that you kept putting off. That being said, enjoy your week, and we out. Peace.